The man from Princeton, Will Venable. He has posted career numbers as a 30-year-old, and today it was announced he's been rewarded with an extension of his San Diego Padre contract. And that Coronado Bridge is an appropriate symbol because Venable's career has spanned from the day he signed with the Padres to his future that'll continue as the Padres. We welcome you to downtown San Diego, Game 2 of our 3-game series. We're in Petco Park, and it's the Padres and the Giants, Game 2. Padres won yesterday 4-1. And good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. We're pleased you're with us, and mighty pleased today is Will Venable.
Absolutely, and you know what? It shows you something about the way the Padres are thinking for the future. Continuity in the lineup. Every spring training for the next 2 years, Will Venable is going to be there, but the 26 games in August, boy, he was seeing the ball extremely well. And we just saw that ball split the left center field gap. That's an adjustment Will Venable is willing to make. Also, crushing the mistakes during the month of August. Breaking ball, lefty on lefty, home run. In Arizona, it doesn't matter who's on the mound in the month of August. Will Venable was seeing the ball extremely well. That's why you see the 20 runs and the great numbers for Will Venable. He'll be consideration, obviously, for Player of the Month for the month of August.
Yeah, they haven't announced that yet, but it'll be an injustice if Venable isn't right near the top of that balloting. Well, we'll see number 22, Robbie Erlin again tonight. Erlin trying to work his way into the starting rotation. You could say this is a signature start. He wants to belong next year.
Absolutely. It would be nice to have two starts strung together, nice ones. In Arizona, pitching there is very tough, but 6 solid innings, 6 hits, only 1 run. Now he's going to pitch here at Petco Park. But what Robbie Erlin needs to do is command the fastball more on the arm side, and also, I'll be quite honest with you, even though the good numbers, the breaking ball at times in Arizona was up a little bit, he's going to have to make an adjustment tonight against these Giants hitters to keep that breaking ball down in the zone. You elevated the chance it might leave the yard, so we'll see if he makes the adjustment tonight.
Well, Laura McKeeman had a chance to encounter Will Venable after the good news was announced today that he will continue 2 more years, 2014 and 15, as a Padre. We'll get that interview when we come back.
Padres and the Giants, and I'm joined by Will Venable. Will, today you find out that you're signed to the 2-year deal with the Padres. What is the security like to know that you'll step on the field today and be in San Diego for 2 more years?
It's great, just let me focus on playing baseball, which is, what I'm here to do. Now I'm able to do that without having to worry about where I'm going to be in the next couple of years.
One of the things Josh Burns said, they've been so impressed with your ability this year to hit lefties and also play center field. How rewarding is it to see your hard work pay off like this?
Oh, it's great, other than obviously, winning ball games, this is a job for us, and to be able to get that security for myself and my family, and, after all the hard work, it's great.
All right, well, we'll let you get out there.
All right, thank you.
Will Venable will back up Robbie Erlin, tonight's Padres starter, and he'll face Madison Bumgarner for the Giants. First pitch is just around the corner. Dick Inburn and Mark Grant have the call. Stay tuned.
Will Venable, another magic trick. Ball game.
Well, it is a Will Venable human highlight film, his 2013 performance, both with the bat and the glove, and rewarded today with that contract extension. He's in center field tonight as the Padres have taken the field, and here's the Giants lineup. Angel Pagan will lead it off in center field. Then Tony Abreu gets the start at second base for Scudero. Brandon Belt has been their hottest hitter. He's in the third spot. Buster Posey, always trouble at 307. Hunter Pence, most home runs and RBIs of the Giants. Then Pablo Sandoval hitting sixth. Joaquin Arias gets the start at shortstop. Juan Perez just called up from Fresno. He was with the club earlier this year. In the lineup tonight in left field, and then Bumgarner, the pitcher. The Padre defense brought to you by the Aramco Group. GUZMAN in left, Venable in center, Denorfia in right. Forsythe, Cedeno, Jerko, and Blanks on the infield. Nick Hundley behind the plate handling the offerings of Robbie Erlin. Erlin 2-2 as a Padre. His last start Wednesday in Arizona, his best. He went 6 innings, allowed only 1 run and 5 hits. Pagan, one of 3 switch hitters in the lineup for Bruce Bochy tonight, and the first pitch is in there for a strike at 89 miles an hour. Pagan missing a couple of months with hamstring surgery, and they've missed him. He Loops that one into right center field. It falls in front of Venable for a leadoff single.
Well, a scouting report for Robbie Erlin, brought to you by our good friends at Jaguar of San Diego. Command of the fastball on the arm side. Robbie does a fine job of going down and into the righties, down and away to the lefties, but it's the other part of the plate, his arm side, down and in to the lefties and away to righties. He needs to really work on it. Keep the curveball down. In Arizona, he left some hanging. Got away with a couple, but he's got a good one. Needs to kind of refine that curveball. Hopefully he can do that tonight.
Abreu, also a switch hitter. Right field. And Denorfia squeezes the first out. Brings up first baseman Brandon Belt. Belt in August, red hot, as was Venable of the Padres. Belt at a .359 clip and 5 home runs the last month. Robbie Erlin making his 7th appearance, 5th start.
As far as wins and losses in Tucson for Robbie, you see his numbers here with the Padres. 8-3 record, a high ERA of just a little bit over 5, but that's pitching in Tucson. They usually say in the PCL you can shave off a run. So let's give Robbie a 4.07.
Okay, I'll buy that. Belt takes a strike, followed by Field and Coldreth. Behind the mask, with Baker, Johnson, and Welke on the bases.
This kid's having a heck of a year. That's why he's hitting the number 3 spot recently for Bruce Bochy and the Giants.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Earlier in the year, Sandoval was batting in the 3rd spot, and then things changed all of a sudden. Sandoval now deeper in the order at number 6. Here's Pablo.
Up high to the former University of Texas star. He was part of that Texas team back in 2009. They went all the way to the World Series championship game, College World Series championship game, losing to LSU. He was a pitcher in his early collegiate years. Injured his arm. Such a good bat that he took up the big glove at first base.
You know, I just noticed, Dick, about Brandon Belt. We talked about his hands recently, but look at his back foot. Look at how close that back foot is in the batter's box, right there on that chalk line. Now, when he straightens up, look at his hands are already over the inside corner of the plate. I think you can get him in.
Breaking ball misses. 2-2.
That tells me if a guy's up on top of the plate, they like to spin on the ball. They like to turn on the ball. Guys that stay away from the plate, they like to dive, try to catch that outside corner. There was a good pitch there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's where Robbie Erlin really needs to try to command and be aggressive with. Look at this fastball in. Nick Hundley's glove. It's right there. Inside. Tying up Brandon Belt. Trying to get those hands through quickly to square it up. No chance on that one. A very nice pitch by Robbie.
That one will loop into the crowd down the left field side. Late on the swing again. 90 on the fastball. Pagan returns to first base. And the count stays at 2-2. Buster Posey on deck.
Well, Brandon Belt had a heck of an August. 359, 5 homers. He drove in 14. A ground ball here would be nice.
Hooked into the right field corner, foul. Well hit.
So he's spraying the ball down the left field line, foul ball, as he's out in front of that pitch.
Beautiful night here in San Diego as these National League West rivals compete. San Francisco's had a very disappointing year, 61-76, and yet they have the best record against the National League West. He goes inside but misses, so it's 3-2.
Now, these teams are very similar right now, obviously, with the records.
from a World Series title 2 of the last 3 years to a team that's 15 games under 500. They were in first place at the start of the season. Runner goes. Strike 3. Throw to second is into center field. And unable to advance further. Pagan, as Hundley's throw was way off the mark. Stolen base for Pagan, his 8th of the year.
Call third strike. That ball actually, I'll tell you what, Nick Hundley's got a good cutter. Working around that one. That ball actually cut towards left center field there. Not even close. 2 outs. Worry about the hitter right there, but he's in scoring position, Pagan. You talk about him working around that baseball right there. Wow.
POSEY at 307. Tied for the club lead with 69 runs batted in. Changeup just misses to the most valuable player in the National League last year. Nothing wrong with those numbers. First base open, and it's 2-0.
Yeah.
That could have been called a strike. Hunter Pence is on deck. POSEY is in the longest home run drought of his career. He hasn't banged one for 37 games. That's hard to believe.
Hopefully Robbie Early can keep it that way, and they want to have a little chat with that runner on second base. As you mentioned, first base being open, Dick. You know, you might see some off speed. And you know, another thing is you might see more changeups tonight from Robbie Early. He's trying to spot the fastball early. He started off POSEY with a first pitch changeup. Not a bad idea. Lefty on righty with a runner in scoring position.
Breaking ball, curveball in there.
Nice. Pitching backwards. Fastball count, pulls the string.
And that'll sail out of play down the right field side.
Buster a little late on that fastball middle in.
Pablo on deck, or in the hole rather. And he comes out, makes a presence. He can't wait to get to the plate on the top step of the dugout. 2-2. Misses low and a full count. POSEY didn't catch until college. Florida State was a sharp infielder because of his bat.
I'm throwing him a changeup right here.
Line drive right field. Denorfia charges. He'll have a play at the plate, and Pagan knows it. And Denorfia's throw would have nailed him, and wisely held at third base by Tim Flannery, the coach. First and third for the Giants here in the opening inning.
Well, he threw him a fastball and tried to throw it in, and Buster POSEY, he uses the whole field. I mean, that's what makes him such a great hitter. Power, average, fight it off, inside out. Now the race is on. Denorfia, who really plays right field, plays the outfield, very fundamentally sound. The way he circles the baseball under a fly ball, the way he positions himself on the one hop. Tim Flannery puts up the stop sign, saves a run. Because I tell you what, like you said, Dick, that throw was a darn good throw by Chris Denorfia.
Brings up Hunter Pence, the right fielder. Leads in almost all the power categories, tied with POSEY in RBIs with 69, but leads in home runs. As we said last night, trying to be one of the rare Giants to have a 20-20 season. He's got his 20 steals, needs 3 more home runs. Way up on the handle. Two and 0.
Well, a lot of pitches for Robbie Early, number 20 here in the first.
That's a strike, a fastball right on the outer edge. Robbie from the Bay Area south of San Jose, but grew up not a Giants fan but an Oakland A's fan. 3-1.
Well, Robbie's going to have to make an adjustment at the big league level. We talked about his minor league numbers. 326 innings going into this year. He struck out 368. The strikeout pitcher, right? Well, pretty much, big league level. He's going to have to rely on location big time and off-speed stuff for strikes big time.
Good fastball on the outside corner again. He's hit that edge twice. 3-2. And that was a strike, according to Fox Tracks. 2 pitches, 3 and 5, right on the paint. POSEY will be off from first. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Not a good start for Erlin. 24 pitches, bases full of Giants, and Darren Balsley is going to go out to talk to the young left-hander.
Trying to just calm him down a little bit. That last changeup, up and away, maybe kind of dropped the elbow a little bit too quick out in front.
He'll face Pablo Sandoval.
Well, a peek inside the toolbox of Robbie Erlin. 61% of the time fastball. He's got that curveball changeup. He's thrown some changeups tonight. Also some curveballs as well. Very few times he'll throw the slider. Only at 6%. It's kind of like a sweeping breaking ball, almost like a slurve type action.
Sandoval, 271 with 10 home runs. More dangerous as a left-handed hitter than from the right side. He has only 1 of his 10 home runs hitting right-handed. Pagan, POSEY, and Pence aboard. 3 Ps. Fouled by Sandoval.
Now you look at that last pitch, right? It was up. I would say it was pretty much on this side here, but he likes to get extended out and away, belt buckle high, and basically across the plate, belt buckle high.
Yes. 1-2. Working up a lather is Erlin in his first inning.
There's some humidity in the air tonight here.
Popped up, foul territory, might be a play. No, Blanks can't quite get in that far. Was back in the second row, 1 row too far for Blanks to use that reach and get the final out.
I'll tell you what, this fan right here, he just had an experience running a Mack truck. Kyle Blanks, number 88, goes. And watch the guy with the Giants jersey. Look out!
Oh, he took the mid right in the chin.
He's got no chance against our first baseman. And that was just his glove.
He's fine. Big smile. Back with it. 1-2. In the dirt on this curveball.
Oh, big pitch coming up here. Don't want to go 3-2. So Robbie Erlin's going to have to work a little magic here to get Pablo Sandoval. And a lot of pitches. His buddy's starting to pace in that dugout.
30th pitch coming up. Get it down, says Hundley. And he goes up and strikes him out. Big strikeout. Sandoval chases. Will Venable will hit second. The man with the new contract. Will he celebrate tonight?
Second in the bottom of the first inning, the Padres announced today that they've inked him to a 2-year deal. And here's General Manager Josh Burns talking about the decision in our Geico quote of the game.
Will is certainly a guy who has about as much respect within the organization, players, front office as anyone. I think his tenure with the Padres from 2005 on has been one of constant improvement. I think he knows our goals here and how he can help us be a winning team and a championship team. So as I process this one, I feel good that a long-tenured Padre who has so much respect within this organization was able to get to a contract, and hopefully it's not his last contract with the Padres.
Burns also mentioned how impressed they've been with Venable's improved ability to hit left-handed pitching this season, guys, and I think that's a big reason why he's been signed to this deal.
That is be a big barrier for him to pass, as he's been a man that's always in the lineup for Bud Black against right-handed pitching, but not lefties. And they've been platooning Denorfia, and now he's shown that he belongs full-time, hitting over 270 this year against lefties. And he's facing one of the toughest in the National League tonight in Bumgarner, who opens the bottom of the first against Denorfia. First ball hunting and a fly ball in shallow right center. Hunter Pence with the out. And a look at the Padres lineup brought to you by Toyota. Denorfia and Will Venable, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight. Then Jed Churko, Jesus Guzman cleanup. Kyle Blanks, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Logan Forsythe. Nick Hundley, a home run yesterday, is 11th, bat seventh. Then Ronnie Cedeno, who's hit safely in 9 out of the last 10 games at shortstop in the 8th spot, and then Erlen.
Well, here's the scouting report on left-hander Madison Bumgarner. We've seen him many times. Big game pitcher, postseason pitcher. He's a bulldog out there as well. And deceptive delivery, kind of hides the ball and slings it from that left side. Throws across his body. It's got to be tough against lefties. Got to really hang in there.
Falls behind Venable 2-0. That's a strike. Venable, a lifetime Padre. He was drafted 8 years ago, 2005, in the 7th round. And now we'll have 2 more years, 2014 and 2015 with San Diego.
I love that. A homegrown Padre getting rewarded. Also, the one thing I think of when I look at the signing of Will Venable is continuity. See, into his 6th season. Going into this year, 3 years, 155 days of Major League service. So
Career year, 13 home runs had been his high, 20 this season. Swing and a miss, and Bumgarner has his first strikeout. Let's take a look at the San Francisco defensive alignment. Juan Perez in left field. Pagan in center. By the way, Perez has a terrific arm. Pence in right. Sandoval, Arias, Abreu, and Belt around the horn. POSEY behind the plate for the 24-year-old Bumgarner. Jed Jerko, 247 hitter, and 16 home runs for the rookie.
Well, kind of slim pickings, Dick, for righties and lefties alike off Madison Bumgarner. Mentioned how tough he is on lefties. A 156 clip. That's what lefties hit off him. And a 216, what righties hit off him. So, hey, pick a pitch during the at-bat. Hopefully it's a mistake. Put a good hack on it.
203 overall, the opposing hitters. That's the 5th best or the 5th toughest pitcher to hit in the National League. 2-1 now to Jerko. Bumgarner going through about as rough a patch as he has in the last 3-4 years. He came up to the big club as a 20-year-old. He's lost his last 5. And the Giants have lost 7 of his last 8 starts. He's had good success against the Padres. He's 2-0 this year in his 3 starts, and in his career 6-3 his record against San Diego.
You know, those last 5 starts you just mentioned, Dick, fewer hits than innings pitched, 27 hits and 29 innings pitched, but a little erratic on the walk side. He's gone everywhere from 3 walks, 1 walk, 4 walks, 4 walks, and 1 walk. So a little erratic on the free passes.
Yeah, usually 1 or 2. That's about it. Pop up on the right side. Fading back is Abreu and calling for it in shallow right field. And Bumgarner works a quick 1-2-3. First inning, no score. On to the second at Petco.
So it's all about Padre Nation, and tonight we want you to have a little conversation with us on Twitter. We're wanting you to tell us what makes the Padres so special with what they give back to the community and what keeps you coming back to Petco Park. So use the hashtag MyHomeMyTeam and send us in your stories.
Long drive into the Petco porch corner, and DeNorfia makes the catch. Joaquin Arias thought he had a home run, but DeNorfia battling the wall and the way the distance cuts off in that corner and leaping high at the Petco porch to take it away.
Oh, he takes a fastball up and away, squares it up pretty nicely, times it perfectly. You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall. The flash look, the jump. Awesome. Hashtag awesome. Social Media Tuesday. Hashtag Dino the man.
That was such a nice catch. The two pets there on the Petco logo,
Yeah.
they started smiling.
Yes, they did.
Backhand by Jerko. Another good play. And Juan Perez is denied. So 2 quick outs here in the second. Robbie Erlin, after throwing 30 pitches the first inning, needed this kind of support.
You know, Jed Jerko, you look at him. You know, we've seen him all year as a rookie make some good plays, going to his right, going to his left. He seems like he's the type of kid who should have like a tool belt around. You know, got the hammer hanging. He's got the, you know, the level. He's got the screwdriver. He's just a guy's guy, a blue collar guy who plays hard and makes the good play, right? He's the kind of kid you want on your team.
He should have a work on the right hand and one of those
and
worker's
a drill,
gloves.
a drill in his back pocket.
You got to have a drill. I don't think he should carry the saw, though. I mean, leave that back in the garage.
That'd help on covering on the double play. Guys slide in. They don't want to slide into the saw.
What an imagination. 1-1. And that's in there on the inside corner to the pitcher, Bumgarner.
Robbie Erlin needs a quick inning here. 30 pitches in the first. This will be the 7th pitch of this inning.
This is there. The curveball, 2-2.
Needs to be under 10, right? Don't you think, Dick?
Right, absolutely.
Under a 10-pitch inning?
You want to get 5 or 6 innings out of Erlin. Making it tough on himself. 3-2 now to the pitcher. That's the 4th 3-2 count going through the order the first time.
Hey, Bumgarner is no slouch himself. Swinging that bat.
Yeah, 6 hits this year and has knocked in 4 RBIs, most of any Giants pitcher. Struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Erlin. He does get a quick inning. 10 pitches. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Jesus Guzman to lead it off for San Diego. Inning. Guzman blanks at Forsyth for San Diego. Time for the Sequan Casino Daycation stat of the game. National League strikeout leaders, left-handed pitchers. Kershaw, no surprise there on top. Cole Hamels still has that strikeout pitch working in Philadelphia. And Bumgarner, third, tied with Cliff Lee with 168.
Now, those are pitchers. When you break all those pitchers down, what do they possess? Command, and they've got a wipeout pitch, putting the hitters on the defensive. Oh, nice. Right there by Bumgarner.
Guzman has had success against Bumgarner. 12 for 30. That works out at 400. A couple of home runs. That's why he's in the cleanup spot tonight. Fastball upstairs.
You know, I think one of the reasons why it's so tough to hit Bumgarner, both lefties and righties, but righties in particular. You know, Dick, we talked about his low three-quarter arm angle, right?
Right.
Where he goes from on the mound and also throwing across his body. So think of it as a right-handed hitter. That angle coming from the left side, coming down and in like that, that's tough to square up.
Yeah, yeah. You don't see that kind of arm angle
No.
that often. He takes a lot off that curveball. Drops down 2-1. Needed only 13 pitches to get through the first inning in order compared to 30 for Erlin. Erlin better in the second, 10 pitches.
We talked about Madison Bumgarner, the arm angle. Look at it, he shows you name and number on the back, still hiding that baseball. He kind of whips that baseball around, but the hitters are looking up here, right? The release point, right? And on the release point, there's where you see it, even with his cap. But he's throwing across his body as well to get that angle down and into the righty.
High pop up back of home plate. POSEY coming back to the screen and just over the screen. Like, you couldn't do that if you tried 1,000 more times with a fungo bat to pop one into the first row like that. Look how close it is to being caught. Pushing through the backstop screen, I think he probably made contact with his glove. By that much, Guzman gets another chance. 2-2. Ground ball left side. Sandoval cuts it off, juggles a little bit, and throws out Guzman. 4 up, 4 down for Bumgarner. Brings up Kyle Blanks. Big Kyle has had no success against Bumgarner. He's 0 for 11. Both teams have added to their rosters today. The Padres have called up Anthony Bass, Brad Boxberger, and Brad Brock as you look at Bumgarner's pitch selection.
Pretty even on the cutter fastball.
Two and 0. So again, Bass, Boxberger, and Brock, the 3 Bs, are back in order. There's Boxberger out in the Padre bullpen. Ground ball right side, way off the line was Belt. He races Blanks to the bag, and there's 2 away.
Got the lefty Bumgarner against the righty Blanks. We talked about the angle down and in. That's the pitch I'm talking about. Even though he falls behind here, he's still trying to peck away there. He went in. The other one was elevated. Couldn't get those hands through. And that's why it's so tough to square up that pitch.
Those first 2 pitches could have been called strikes. They were close. Forsythe. There are his numbers. 5 home runs. He looks at a fastball and swings right through it.
fouled into the glove of Posey. Padres looking for their first base runner. 2 outs, bases empty here in the second. No score.
Well, you know, even though the Padres won last night 4-1, it's kind of frustrating after Barry Zito left the game because the Padres were hitless after Barry Zito exited the game. Still walked away winners. We need to get those shillelaghs going. There's Barry on the left and Tim Lincecum on the right.
We'll see Lincecum tomorrow. A 3:30 game here at Petco to wrap up the series. They'll go against Eric Stoltz. He went around. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Bumgarner. He's moved through the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down.
Heavy lifting early. His defense picked him up in the second inning. But I talked with Darren Balsley about Erlin, and he said last time out he threw strikes when he needed to, but not necessarily as many quality strikes as Balsley would have liked to see. He said, look, he moved the ball around enough and changed speed to keep hitters off balance, but he'd like to see him keep the ball down in the zone more today. And so he said his bread and butter is the high fastball, but he can't consistently rely on that because hitters do adjust. So he said the key for Erlin today, down early and up late, Mark Grant.
Yes, almost like Ian Kennedy, huh? We talked about him elevating the fastball late in the count. And another thing I like to see, I mentioned it a couple times already, but the breaking ball, the curveball down in the zone to both righties and lefties alike. Thank you, Laura.
Pagan leading off the third, and he drills one to left field. A low line drive. Will it stay in the yard? Off the wall. Throw quickly into second base, but not in time. Head first slide. A double for Pagan. He set a rope over the head of Guzman. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
Guzman played that perfectly. I mean, this ball was roped. It was smoked. Pagan right on it. This line drive hits about 2/3. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say 2 or 3 inches. I stand corrected. But there's no way Guzman could have caught that ball right. If he goes to try to make the spectacular play, that ball is rolling all the way back towards the infield.
Push punt try by Abreu, who flied out to right his first time.
And that would have been a triple for sure. So he's played the carom and got it in quickly to second base.
Padres fortunate there. Pagan close to his 4th home run of the year. Runs have been scarce for the Giants, as they have for the Padres. Bruce Bochy trying to get that runner over to third with 1 out. In fact, we were talking about Bumgarner losing his last 5 starts. In those 5 starts, the Giants supported him with a total of 7 runs. Slow curveball hangs outside. 1-2.
Yeah, there's an old Robbie Alomar jersey right there. And who's 138, Dick? That's like going back to the days of D-ball and C-ball in spring training. I talked to older, like when I first signed as a 17-year-old, talked to coaches who have been, coaching for years and years and years. And you remember that D-ball, C-ball, B-ball, A-ball, and then double A, right? It's in spring training. They would tape a number to your back like you're number 168 because there were so many bodies.
1-2. Fastball too low. Keep your eye on Pagan. He's probably not going to try anything here with no one out, but with one out, he's getting a pretty big lead. Two balls, two strikes to Tony Abreu. Ground ball to short, right at Cedeno. Pagan scrambles back to second, and Cedeno gets the out at first.
Great first reaction from Pagan on that ball. Smoke to his right. There's no way he's going to beat that ball, so he can go to third base, right? So the first reaction is go back to second base.
Now watch for Pagan. He stole the base in the first inning. Brandon Belt, the hitter, took a third strike. Out in front, way in front of that slow 73-mile-an-hour curveball.
Big yacker.
Fair ball. Glove by Blanks. Hurry over there, Erlen. Watch out. Oh, Pagan took a big turn. And if Erlen was casual at all about continuing his momentum toward the outfield, Pagan would have flirted on coming home.
Shows you how athletic Robbie Erlen is. Also Kyle Blanks. Good feet, bare hand, underhand throw, check and turn. That's something they work on every single day. There you see Pagan at third base. He's not going anywhere. Robbie Erlen, watch him. As soon as he gets his baseball, touches first, turn, check the runner. There you go.
So Pagan at third base with two out. For Buster Posey, who singled sharply to right field his first time.
Well, the first pitch probably tells you a lot about this at bat right here. I think if I'm going to be pitching here, I'd rather pitch against Hunter Pence than Buster Posey with first base open.
Ball in there.
Backdoor breaking ball, nicely done.
Leadoff double Pagan, forced to stay at second on Abreu's ground ball sharply to short. Moved to third on Belt's ground out to first. He's getting the outside corner from umpire Culver.
Well, it changes everything in the at bat. Hey, go for the punch out. Maybe throw an off-speed pitch out of the zone, maybe, or a fastball up out of the zone, as we mentioned earlier, elevating it late to try to get Posey for the strikeout.
In the dirt, Hundley smothering that. Pagan ready to sprint in from third. Been up only twice. Look at all the Petco parked dirt on his uniform. A couple of head-first slides. And curveball hangs high and away. 3-2. To go to right field.
That looked like the slider almost. That was that big humping curveball. The big humpy hump.
Hunter Pence, you can see on deck. Strike three. Outside corner again. A little extra, 91 on that fastball. And Robbie Erlin has 4 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Leadoff double Pagan, but the Giants fail to score.
Park, Mark Sweeney and I hanging out by the dugout enjoying a big league ball game, and time now to introduce our AT&T Twitter poll. In light of the Padres signing Will Venable to a 2-year deal, we're asking you, what was the best Venable play of the year? And these are your choices. Walk-off in Seattle, use the hashtag WalkOffSEA. Also, dive San Francisco. That was, of course, an extra innings, the play of the game there. And then the walk-off against the Mets. So I want to ask you, Mark Sweeney, what is your choice out of these 3?
Laura, how can you not love a walk-off? But I have to go B. That is the play of the year, in my estimation. An outstanding play by Will Venable, diving across his body and making an outstanding catch. By far, that was my favorite play of the year throughout baseball.
So Nick Hundley leads off the 3rd with a base hit to left. That's the first Padre base runner, and brings up Ronnie Cedeno.
And stay tuned to this game in the 5th inning. Mark and Laura are going to come up with a sweet stir-fry recipe that you can try this weekend. Thanks, Mark and Laura.
Cedeno hitting safely 9 of the last 10 games. A home run and 5 RBIs. Good production down in that 8th spot in the order.
What's your favorite walk-off, Dick?
There's one time I walked off the Champs-Élysées in Paris, and I took a left there and went down to that little bistro about 2 blocks away by the Prince de Gaulle Hotel. That was a terrific walk off the main drag. Let me think more about that. How about your favorite walk off?
I got to agree with Mark Sweeney. That diving catch by Will Venable, I mean, that was ball game for the Giants. And he ate the warning track. I mean, the grounds crew after that game, they had to bring like 4 yards of dirt back out to the warning track and fill it in after Will Venable digested the whole track after that catch.
What was it? Denorfia said after the game, you thought it was good on television. You should have seen it from my angle.
Yep.
As he was seeing how far, that he had to stretch and how he finally picked up the ball in time to make the catch. 1-2 to Cedeno. Slow curveball, and he punches it foul.
Guys, when you go back to that play, it's an outstanding play because the hardest ball to get is the ball straight at you. You don't know which way to turn, and Will Venable ended up creating that angle with his body and going across his body. I thought that was an outstanding job defensively, but that's the toughest ball, straight to center.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding year, both defensively and offensively, as Cedeno backs away from the fastball inside. Robbie Erlin on deck. Padres trying to get on the board first. Runs are precious for both these teams, so that early lead, even if it's one run, can grow tall in a hurry. Ground ball could be a double play. 5, 4, 3. A double play around the horn. Sandoval to Abreu to Belt.
Once again, that angle from the left-handed pitcher down and in to the right-handed hitter. That's a tough ball to square up. Tops it to Hopper, and Sandoval plays it perfectly. Nice turnaround the second base bag as well.
Erlin looking for his first major league hit. 0 for 8.
Dick, you know, I know you love the double play, but what I love about the double play is the footwork of both the shortstop and second baseman, whoever's involved, of taking that throw to get that force at second. I love to watch the footwork and the hands.
You know what it reminds me of? You know, the quick feed and how they get themselves in position. The wide receiver in football that's able to go to the sidelines, know where the ball is, make the catch, and know somehow where his feet are and stay in bounds. You marvel at how they do that. It's the same principle here around the bag.
Great analogy. Yep, absolutely.
Arias at short and Abreu at second, turning that 5-4-3.
The only difference is those middle infielders don't have guys with pads coming at them trying to jar the ball loose, right? You can slide in hard, you can come in hard, but you're right, it's fun to watch.
And Erlin goes down swinging, the third strikeout for Madison Bumgarner. No score, on to the fourth.
Inning, and Yonder Alonso got an MRI on that injured right hand today, and he said the MRI showed a lot of fluid between the joints. That's what's been causing him pain. He also did a couple of grip strength tests on a grip strength scale, and he said that his left hand actually measures out at 125 on the scale. The right hand is at 80, so you see the big difference there. The highest on the scale goes to 140. So Bud Black said doctors thinks he may be able to be back in a couple of weeks. He'll get an injection today to try to make that hand just feel a little better. They'll test it out and see how it plays out. But Bud said Yonder still wants to get back in and play, even if he only has a couple weeks left in the season, and those can still be valuable at bats going forward. Also, Chase Headley Bud still expects to be able to play tomorrow. Today he ran, hit, and also took some ground balls. So trying to get back out there. The back is feeling better. They just want to make sure Chase is fully healthy before they put him back in the lineup, guys.
All right, thank you, Laura. With Carlos Quinton out, you're taking the 3 bats right out of the middle of the Padre lineup here in the final days of August and the month of September. That doesn't help the offense. Here's Hunter Pence way upstairs with a changeup.
Well, Mark Sweeney's down by the dugout, and Laura mentioned in a report that Yonder Alonso getting an injection there to kind of calm down the swelling. We also hear, Mark, about the double play being the pitcher's best friend.
Yes, we do.
You know what else is a pitcher's best friend?
What else?
An injection from the doctor in the shoulder to help the healing process.
Yeah, my opinion is limit the injections if you have to.
Right.
Obviously, that strength of the hand, which Laura talked about, that 80 percentile, I think that is a scary thing. We always talked about, remember the guys that used to have the buckets of rice, Mark, that you go in and they just start gripping it? That's basically what it is. And you have to build that hand strength.
Hunter Pence leading off the top of the 4th inning, works the count to 3-1.
Dick, we had a doctor in Atlanta. His nickname was Dr. Pincushion.
Doesn't sound good. That sounds like something out of a James Bond movie. Leadoff walk. Never a good thing. Second time Pence has drawn a free pass. And Pablo Sandoval will bat next.
Nick Conley being part pitching coach there, trying to calm Robbie down a little bit. Why? That last pitch looked like it was a fastball, and he spiked it. Fastball in the dirt. Got to make an adjustment there. Get a grounder. Take a look at this pitch. That might have been a changeup. Might have been a changeup, so I stand corrected.
And the pitch count continues to mount for Erlin, up to 62. Sandoval swung at a bad pitch, struck out first time. Fouls that back. Bases were loaded, and Sandoval with a chance to do some damage. And went after a pitch up around the bill of his helmet. Pence leads the Giants in stolen bases with 20. High fly ball, left field, hooking down the line and well out of play. Taco Tuesday at Petco Park after $1 hot dog Monday.
Yeah. I wonder if that was a success. I'm sure it was. How can you go wrong?
I'm waiting for that $2 lobster night. Yeah.
So $1 dogs, Taco Tuesday. I like it.
Or maybe Filet Friday.
I was just going to say $5 Filet Friday.
Yeah. Great idea. It'll be your idea, okay?
How about Thermidor Thursdays for lobster?
There you go. But, those are usually, well, sometimes they're night games, but often those are day games. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sandoval. That's the pitch he struck out on the first time. Out of play. And off almost into the press box.
Yeah, those writers over there, they want no part of that baseball coming up there. They're going to protect those computers of theirs, which they should.
Yeah.
A few computers have been blown out up there on foul balls.
Runner goes. Swung on and fouled, and Pence will have to come back to first base. He had a good break.
The Horsehead's here again. Wasn't he here last time? What the Godfather's going on there?
Yeah, my only comment is why.
See, I say why not? Why not wear a horse head?
Well, you might, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think out of the box, right?
2 balls.
Why be normal? That's my philosophy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Stay happy. That could be playable in foul territory. Blanks on the track for the out. Sandoval fouls out.
Well, a big out for Robbie Erlin. He's been throwing a lot of pitches. The next pitch will be number 70. But we go back to the first pitch to Pablo Sandoval. Fastball in. Let's keep an eye on that fastball and all pitches in. Trying to prevent him from getting extended. Up the ladder. Remember, he will swing at anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Got him there. Popped him up. Kyle Blank squeezes it for the out.
Joaquin Arias drilled one to deep right field toward the Petco porch, but Chris Dodorfia made the defensive play of the game, leaping up at the wall to take it away. It would have been extra bases, would not have been a home run. Another 2-0 count.
Well, Mark Sweeney down by the dugout. Anything from Robbie Erlin that you see? I know the pitch count is up, but anything that you
I think the ball strike ratio that you guys already touched on is tough right now. It's not that ratio that you definitely need. It looks like he's very tentative.
And now 3-0.
A lot of deep counts. You see the breakdown there. Up to 72, only 42 strikes, 30 balls.
With the watchful eye of pitching coach Darren Balsley. A 3-0 pitch. Lays it in there. Arias is in the lineup because he has had inordinate success against left-handed pitchers. Last year he hit .303 against lefties. 270 overall. And 273 this year. Out of play.
You know, Mark and Dick, when you evaluate Robbie Erlin from the hitter's perspective, I think it's a situation that he hasn't executed an out pitch that is definitely dominant. So it's that comfortable at bat that you get. That's the reason why you get deep counts. You're going to get some foul balls, but he doesn't have that out pitch that he's shown tonight.
And that's why he's got to locate around the plate, because he wants them to put the ball in play, hopefully a grounder or a weak fly ball. If you don't have that wipeout pitch, well, there's going to be a lot of balls in play and foul balls like you mentioned as well.
Bruce Bochy having Pence run on the 3-2 pitch here. A little run and hit. Likely going again. Yep. High fly ball to right. Dodorfia drifts back. Collects the second out of the inning, and Pence back to first base.
Well, the middle infielders on that one, Mark Sweeney. Did you see him kind of work their magic? Jerko and Cedeno kind of deking the phantom double play. Cedeno acted as if he was getting a feed from Jerko. Actually went to the bag. Watch the middle infielders. Ball struck. Jerko. Cedeno grabs the ball. But you know what? Pence isn't going to buy that. Nice try, though.
Hit too high anyway. But that was a good battle back by Erlin. He had fallen behind 3-0. And then threw 4 straight strikes and finally got Arias to fly out.
Yeah, most times, guys, in that situation on a straight steal, it's going to be close. Usually you'll have that base runner not peek in too many times, and you can catch them on that. It's the responsibility of the middle infielders to do that.
And that's why the flash look is so important, isn't it, Mark?
It is, and you have to do that even if you're stealing bases, but sometimes guys will just put their head down and try to get that stolen base.
Now, let me ask you this. Flash look running, okay, you hear a crack of the bat, but you don't know where the ball is. Is it the responsibility of the runner to look at the third base coach?
Third base coach. Immediately look at third base coach, then try to see it if you can, if he's not giving you any signal.
Right.
Juan Perez had a hit taken away from him. Jerko with a good play. First time up. Ground ball left side. Cedeno the short way for the out. And that's it for the Giants in the top of the fourth. Padres will hit from the top of the order in their half of the fourth inning. Diego is brought to you by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, inviting you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. By Petco, where the healthy pets go. By Farmers Insurance. Contact your local agent at 888-96-FARMERS. And by the Experience Buick Lease. It's a new lease on luxury. Bottom of the fourth, and leadoff hitter Chris Denorfia. And Padre leadoff hitters have done a very respectable job all season long. Will Venable and Chris Denorfia this season, 16 times in the first spot for Venable, and Denorfia doing his share of good work as well. Denorfia flied out to right field his first time. Fouls it at the plate. Denorfia hitting in the leadoff spot, 34 games, hitting .303 on the right. And Venable even better, .391 in the 16 times that he's been in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, look at the on-base percentage for Will, way above 418, .361. You know, you're talking .330, .333. That's pretty, that's kind of like the league average. You're anywhere above that, you're doing something right.
And Cabrera, of course, primarily the leadoff man, 73 games, hit .263, .340 on base percentage, and that was very good. But without him, these two men have filled the void rather nicely. 1-2 to Chris. Slow curveball right back to the mound. Good fielding position for Madison Bumgarner to throw out Denorfia. One away, and time for the Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. National League leaders, lowest opponent average allowed, and there's Bumgarner. Hitters batting only .203 against him. A rookie down in Miami, Jose Fernandez, 186. And Kershaw, who's going to be at the top of almost every pitching list. Venable struck out swinging the first time.
Mark Sweeney, it must have been very refreshing when they saw Madison Bumgarner pitch in the postseason and did what he did.
Yeah, because he stepped up. And if you go back to that season, Mark, he actually had struggled during spring training, and they wanted him to grow up. They sent him back to the minor leagues. He came back up and pitched very well, but then he made his mark in the postseason, and that's what you have to do if you're a young pitcher. Now he's got that reputation.
How about that, Dick? A 20-year-old, you'd like to have him on your staff, huh? Big game pitcher.
I mean, here's the #1 draft pick, and they knew what they were getting. 10th overall selection in 2007 as a teenager out of Hudson, North Carolina. 1-2 the count. Another one up the middle. ABREU, 4-3 put out. And so far, Bumgarner with a double play in the 3rd inning after the Hundley single has faced the bare minimum. Jedrzejko steps up. He popped to 2nd. We mentioned the call-ups for the Giants. Several players, pitchers George Contos, Jack Dunning, a couple of right-handers, the local lad Nick Noonan. Line drive down the left field line, but hooking foul. Outfielders Francisco Peguera and Juan Perez, who's in the lineup tonight. Keith Hembry and Johnny Monell, a catcher. And designated for assignment, Kensuke Tanaka and Dan Runsler, the left-handed pitcher. They're out there available for another club to select. 2 strikes now. Jerko.
High fastball.
Good call.
Well, Buster Posey kind of gave the fastball sign, then motioned up in the zone with his hand. You know, if you're going to miss up and out of the zone to where he takes it. Don't miss it, you know, where the letters are at, and you can get that top hand on it and crush it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Guzman would be next. No walks allowed by Bumgarner. 3 strikeouts. Watch out. That came in hot. It's still caroling through the seats. They've gone through about 3 other sets of hands below those fans before it fell into the lap of that group.
I think that's the gentleman who sang the national anthem tonight.
Yes, he did sing the anthem. How about that? That's the reward.
Yeah.
He brought his glove.
That was awesome.
Outside, and Bumgarner faces his first full count. Looking for more production from hitters 2 through 6 last night. They were 0 for 14 collectively. Tonight they're 0 for 6. And a line drive right at the shortstop Arias. In order go the Padres. No score after 4. Media Tuesday, and we check in with the new member of our FSSD team, Bree Teely.
Thanks so much, Dick. That's right, guys. It is Social Media Tuesday, and earlier in the night, we asked you what is your favorite way that the Padres give back to fans, and what keeps you coming back to Petco Park using the hashtag #MyHomeMyTeam. And take a look at this. Jimmy SDM1 says, I love the Sunday signings and Kids Fest at Park at the Park. Sundays at Petco with my son are like nothing else. And guys, I think we are all on board with that one.
And especially the Military Sunday as well. Madison Bumgarner leads off the 5th inning. Thank you, Bree. Angel Pagan and Tony Abreu to follow against left-hander Robbie Erlin. No runs, 3 hits for San Francisco. No runs, 1 hit for the Padres.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Bree for that report, and also thank her for joining the team, Fox Sports San Diego. Welcome aboard.
Curveball missing, 2-1. Bumgarner worked the count full his initial at bat before striking out. That's in there. Fastball. 2-2. Struck him out. Number 5 for Robbie Erlin. That's it. Put him up there. 4 swinging, 1 taken. Angel Pagan, he has 2 of the 3 hits for the Giants. Bloop single to right and a line double. It just missed going out of the ballpark off the top of the left field fence.
Hey, Mark Sweeney, a question about September call-ups. Is there sometimes a case when it's like too many people are called up and it gets really crowded down there and it's kind of, you know?
Yeah, I do believe that, and I think it has to be regulated a little bit.
One hopper to the third baseman Forsythe, and Pagan is out, 2 away.
Yeah, if you look at the rules, Mark, I think it's going to, and Joe Torre said this when he was a manager up in L.A., you should be designated a certain amount of players that you can use that particular night. I think that's going to solve a lot of problems. I think there's too many, and there's too unfair advantage, too, in certain situations. But, yes, it can be too many in the locker room as well, which can affect definitely the chemistry inside there.
That's an interesting point, that you could bring up all 15 extra for the full complement of 40, but each night a team can only designate 5 that are active. The other 10 can watch on television. Helps the ratings too, you know.
Yeah. Like a rotating roster almost, right?
Ground ball, 2 convenient hops to Cedeno, and Abreu is gone. That's the kind of inning Robbie Erlin's looking for. 3 up, 3 down in a hurry. Oh, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, down in the editing truck as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Jesus Guzman, then Kyle Blanks and Logan Forsythe for the Padres. There's strike one as Guzman the first time grounded to third. How about that, gentleman? One of those sandbox seats.
He's rocking the Dr. Seuss socks. I tell you what, if you're going to watch a big league ball game, you get yourself an Adirondack chair in the beach and a social sparkler right there. You got your legs crossed. Hey, life is good.
Those are old San Francisco Giants striped socks, too, I think. Popped up. POSEY has a look, but it's just out of play. That's down in the
Hall of Famer
owner's box area, yeah.
Dave Winfield there.
Did he make a play on it, Winfield, or did he let somebody else get their hands blistered?
Oh, that guy could swing the bat with the best of them.
1-2. Looped into right center, falling in a hurry, but look at that Pagan outrun it. Boy, when he gets it in full gear, he can cover a lot of territory.
Ball hung up there just enough for Pagan. A lot of times, Mark Sweeney's played the outfield before, and a swing like that, he might break back maybe a step and a half. That's why it's so important to get that speed to make up the difference, eh?
Yeah, it's the first step, Mark, and you look at Angel Pagan on that one. It was that first initial step. I thought that was going to get down from my perspective, but covered a lot of ground.
Kyle Blanks grounded to first. Takes strike one. Typical efficient pitching by Madison Bumgarner. No wasted motion, no wasted pitches. Only 58 tosses so far. No walks, 3 strikeouts. He's been their ace, and the numbers reflecting that. Fouled into the glove, a changeup. No, you said it. You could just put it graphically instead of San Francisco in the front of his uniform. Big game pitcher.
Yep.
Ground ball inside the bag. That's going to get into the corner, and Blanks is on his way for 2. Pence finally digs it out, and a stand-up double for Kyle Blanks. Well, the Padres finally get a man in scoring position.
It's a nice job right there. Lefty on righty, taken to the opposite way, and the 88 train rounded first. The place right in front of him. And Hunter Pence trying to have to play that ball back a little bit to see which way that ball's going to bounce.
So the Padres have a chance here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Logan Forsythe struck out the first time, and then Nick Hundley, who has the other Padre base hit.
Guys, I was just about to say on Kyle Blanks at bat, it looked very uncomfortable. Almost looked like he was guessing the wrong pitch with those sequences from Madison Bumgarner. But then when you have 2 strikes, sometimes you simplify it, spread out, don't take some movement out of the swing, and that was a perfect swing down the right field line.
It's almost like one of those emergency swings, Mark, where the top half stays back and you just throw that head of the bat, catch it as it travels, as you mentioned, keeping it fair.
Yeah, and you know what? You go back to Kyle Blank's last few days, and there's been a lot of strikeouts, a lot of foul balls, and he simplified it right there with 2 strikes. Sometimes you want to take that approach right from the get-go.
Right, one hopper hit sharply, but the shortstop Arias throws out Forsythe. Doesn't it seem as if Forsythe has had more hard outs than any Padre? It seems like he's constantly hitting the ball sharply, but right at the glove.
And there's nothing he can probably change right there. I mean, it's got to be very frustrating as a hitter. Put good swing on it, hit it on the sweet spot, but right at somebody, an Adam ball right at him.
So Hundley singled through the hole, the 5.5 hole, the first time up. Big hole in right center field. You see Bumgarner working it low and inside to Hundley. No score, 2 out. Blanks at second. Home half of the 5th inning here at Petco. 1-1.
Well, Buddy's got to be looking at that scorecard, looking at the pitch count for Robbie Erlin, and looking ahead against the Giants. 3-4-5 due up next half for the Gigantes.
There's that curveball sweeping from outside in, but went around the plate. 2-1.
Just an easier situation to take a chance earlier in the ball game with these September call-ups.
Erlin's given him 5 innings after a rough first inning. Got out of a bases loaded jam. Settling in. Allowing the Giants only 3 hits. 2 of those in that first inning. Bumgarner looking down the barrel and wants his catcher to come out over the signs with a man at second base.
Hey, Mark Sweeney, little nugget of information. Pitchers and catch always cover their mouth with the glove, right? Like we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
You know when that started?
When did it start?
You know the story I heard? Will Clark, Giants versus the Cubs, Maddox, Wrigley Field. Catcher went out to talk to Maddox. Will Clark read his lips say first pitch fastball, gone. Will was sitting on it. That story got out, and a lot of pitchers then started going with the glove over the mouth, so hitters couldn't read lips. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I'm going to start covering my mouth.
No, I think that's exactly right, that there are lip readers. We can sometimes see what players are saying. Well, here's a chance for Hundley. He's sitting on a 3-1 pitch with Blanks leading off second base. Foul back. High fastball. Didn't get a full cut at it.
Hey, Dad's here. Front row. He's got his glove with him.
But he's behind the screen.
He needs that pop-up that was earlier in the game, remember?
They got to play the count. Ooh, right off the mask of POSEY.
Wow.
Tim Stauffer, first to get up in the Padre bullpen.
Buster's like, really? Gosh.
You know, guys, they're talking about Buster Posey going to first base a little bit more next year and possibly putting Brandon Belt in the outfield. Those situations right there will put him at first a lot.
He's still blinking his eyes. Full count again.
Catch the middle one.
Hit well to left center field. A long run for Pagan. He's back to the wall. It's off the wall. Blank scores on a double by Nick Hundley. It's 1-0 Padres.
High fastball. Full count. Oh, just inches. Inches from going out of the yard. Getting extended, put a good swing on it. Oh, maybe about a couple feet or so. Nick Hundley, 2 for 2.
They had a home run last night for Hundley. Well, the Padres strike first here in the 5th on a pair of doubles. Blanks and Hundley. Going to walk Cedeno and take their chances with Erlin, but Erlin may not be hitting. They had Stauffer warming up. Erlin's thrown 86 pitches. We'll see what Bud Black does here.
I would think in this situation you got a pinch hit. You got that runner in scoring position, try to add on.
Erlin is in the on-deck circle. Doesn't mean he can't be called back. Erlin's coming up to bat. So Cedeno to first base, joining Hundley. Erlin struck out his first time. 0 for 9 as a big league hitter.
Oh, you know, this might be a case Buddy Black's looking at.
Line to center field. It's falling in a hurry. Yes! Here comes Hundley. He will score on a bloop single by Robbie Erlin. His first hit is an RBI. And that manager Black knows what he's doing. 2-0 Padres.
I honestly thought he was going to pinch hit for Robbie Erlin with that runner in scoring position. He goes up there, and I'm thinking, you know what, with the 1-run lead before that base hit, Bud Black's thinking he's got 85 pitches or so. Let him get an at-bat. If he makes it out, he goes out there with a 1-0 lead. Let's see what he can do with that 1-run lead and the 85 pitches. Well, we'll have to wait and see what he does with those pitches, but we can see what he does with the bat there, helping his own cause.
Yeah, off the end of the bat, pretty good looking swing, and he dumps it into center field for a 2-0 lead. And here's Chris Denorfia. He's flied out and bounced to the mound. Couple of doubles and a bloop single by the pitcher Erlin, and the Padres have a 2-0 lead. High chopper. That's going to be a very tough play. Sandoval able to get Denorfia by a half stride. But the Padres settle for 2. Blanks double, Hundley an RBI double, and Robbie Erlin with his first major league hit and first major league RBI. But it's Hundley in the middle of the action again.
League club an RBI double, and then the pitcher Robbie Erlin RBI bloop single. And hey, it's Social Media Tuesday. We're asking you, what keeps you coming back to Petco Park? What do you like so much about what the Padres do for the community? We've already got some tweets coming in. This one comes from Hoffa Dog, and he says, I love the game day giveaways. This season alone, I've gotten a fedora, sandals, a Padres phone case for the collection. So he's reeling in the goods right there. And here's SD Red Bull 8. Love the events out in the community in addition to Fan Fest. So knowing the team cares about us is pretty great. And it really is great. These Padres do care about this San Diego community, just like the community cares about them, guys.
Well, that's one of the primary functions of management. Mr. Fowler and company have said from day one that winning is the primary focus, but right behind it is community service. Of course, when it comes to the military, par excellence. Well, quite an inning for the Padres. A couple of doubles and Robbie Erlin's first base hit and first RBI, and that has the fans in the Padre gear in a good mood as we go to the 6th inning, and Erlin back out there. Brandon Belt, Buster Posey, and Hunter Pence to bat for the Giants.
I think this says a lot about what Bud Black was thinking. You know, regardless, Robbie Erlin was going to go out to the mound with a 1-0 lead, right? If he makes it out there.
Belt loops a single to left to open the 6th inning. His first hit. The hit total's now even at 4 aside.
So rather than pinch hitting for me, because I want him to go back out there, he's got 85 pitches and see what he can do to protect that 1 or 2 run lead that he has right now. It's kind of like Cashner the other night, remember? He threw a lot of pitches, up over 100. It was crunch time. Buddy went out there and he left it because he wanted to see it was a part of the maturing process of being a starter and getting through that stressful inning.
And Cashner did get out of the 7th inning against the Dodgers, giving up only 1 run in the game, but another no decision for Cashner as the Padres would get only 1 run in his support. Posey singled to right field his first time, took a 3rd strike in the 3rd. There's another base hit. Belt pulls up at second, 1st and 2nd, no one out, and here come the Giants right back.
Pitches have been up. Buddy's got the readers on. He's checking out scouting reports. Look at that pitch there. Middle in, elevated. He's staying back nicely. Plants that foot. Look where the hands are when the foot's down. Still in the locked and loaded position. Driving with those legs and throwing the head of that bat, fighting it off on the inside part of the plate.
5 feet to the right, and it's a double play ball, but he drives it through the hole, and here's Pence. He's walked both times. Strike 1. Tough man to double up. There's an example of what you talked about last night, Mark Grant, off speed. The way Pence lurches at the ball.
Yeah, I think you get him soft with the curved ball. It's got to be in the right location, and also the changeup, especially lefty Robbie Erlin against righty Pence.
Belt and Posey lead away from 2nd and 1st. And that'll be out of play.
And that's exactly where he wanted to throw that fastball. That was by design. That's where Nick Hundley wanted it.
At the top of his velocity tonight, that was 92. Oh, we're going to get a picture of that. That's great. Popped up in foul territory, not very high. Blanks. Just enough room for the first out. So Sandoval will step up.
Curveball. You see him lunging, see his body lunging, his hands kind of going forward too, and that off-speed pitch gets back to the point of how you can get him soft.
Laura covering herself with her notes. Nice move, Laura.
Thought it was coming for me, guys. You got to be really aware down here.
Be prepared.
It's scary.
Sandoval struck out and fouled to first. He's hit into 15, double pull up the ladder. Good stop by Hundley. Curveball didn't curve.
Curveball got away from him there.
Two 2-0 Padres here in the top of the 6th. The Giants with a tying run aboard. Another pop fly, but that'll be out of the reach of Blanks. amazing.
Yeah.
Just won the lottery. A ball and a strike. Dangerous hitter, Panda. Balls grounded into double play by Sandoval on the season. Most by any Giant. Late on that swing.
Well, the last couple of fastballs been down in the zone. That's where Robbie wants to be. But with that said, with Sandoval, you can now sneak one up near his eyes, up and out of the zone, and he'll chase. You keep going down, 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 he's going to eventually catch up. I think this would be a perfect opportunity to try to change the eye angle of Sandoval.
Into the hole and through. And here comes the Giants' first run as Belt scores. It's 2-1. 3 singles for the Giants here in the 6th inning. And Sandoval delivering the RBI.
Oh, it looked like another fastball. Yes, it was. Elevated too around the belt buckle. And that could have been much more dangerous.
And with that base hit by Sandoval, out comes Bud Black. 1 out, runners at first and second, and Tim Stauffer beckoned from the bullpen. Erlin goes 5 1/3. He'll lead the game with a lead thanks to his base hit in the last of the 5th inning. And here comes Stauffer, and we'll take a break. Robbie Erlin looking for his 3rd major league win. 5 strikeouts tonight and holding the Giants scoreless through the first 5 innings, and helped himself out with a bloop single to center field. That was for the 2nd Padre run in the last of the 5th inning. The key hit, Nick Hundley just missing a home run, driving in Kyle Blanks, who had doubled, and then Hundley scored on Erlin's single. That's where we stand 2-1, and some defense helping. Long drive to right off the bat of Arias that was snared by Denorfia, and Jerko backhanding a bid for a base hit by Perez, helping out Robbie Erlin.
Yeah, the pitch count for Robbie Erlin, 98 pitches for the left-hander. Kind of getting up with the breaking ball later, getting up with the fastball. All singles here, and turns it over to Tim Stauffer.
Tim's 36th appearance has been very effective of late. He faces Arias, who flies that one high into foul territory. Arias has hit both balls to the right fielder, Denorfia, the one the catch you just saw. Denorfia leaping against the wall at the Petco porch. 2 on, Posey at second. Sandoval with the RBI single at first. A run home, 2-1 San Diego. Center field, that's going to fall in front of Venable. Here comes Posey. He scores. It's tied at 2. Arias with a single knots the count at 2. The throw by Venable into second base to hold Sandoval at second.
Nice easy swing, taking it the opposite way. I mean, one thing a reliever wants to do is leave those inherited runners out there. Tim Stauffer still some work to do. A double play still in order, but that knock ties it up. That run charge for Robbie Erlin. He's still responsible for Sandoval at first base, or on second base.
Well, that wipes away a chance for, well, not necessarily. Stauffer can get out of the inning, and the Padres, well, no, that means no decision is the best that Robbie Erlin can walk away with. Strike to Perez, who was grounded out twice. At Fresno, he hit .291 with 10 home runs, 50 runs batted in. 26-year-old from the Bronx, New York. 0-2. So 4 singles here in the 6th inning for the Giants. Belt, Posey, RBI single, Sandoval, Arias. Posey right in the midst of another rally.
Buster looks a little rattled. I remember he got hit with that foul ball in the cage. That rattled his cage, no pun intended. But looked like he was talking to the trainer there, a couple of trainers.
Yeah, he doesn't look right, does he? Strike 3 call. Perez caught looking for the second out. That'll bring up Bumgarner.
It's the slider. Great frame job by Nick Hundley.
Bumgarner has struck out both times against Erlin. Padres with 2 in the bottom of the 5th, and the Giants countering with a deuce here in the top of the 6th inning to tie it up. And Bumgarner, just like Erlin, a chance to help his own cause. Still a watchful eye on the catcher Posey there in the Giants dugout.
Well, now he's starting to reach for the shin guards and put them on. I was wondering if he had them on with 2 outs, getting ready to go back out there.
1-2 to Bumgarner.
And remember, kids, if you're a catcher, the clips go on the outside, not on the inside. Why? Because you get these clips on the inside, you start running for a ball, you get hooked up, you'll find yourself eating dirt right on your face. That's why the clips go to the outside.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gets Bumgarner and Perez on strikes to end the inning, but the Giants 2 runs on 4 hits and lead 2. Stauffer punching out Perez and Bumgarner to end the inning. Fox Sports San Diego is brought to you by Sequan. Real friendly, real close. By Mossy Toyota. Thousands of vehicles. One trusted name, Mossy.com. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Bottom of the 6th inning, and Venable unable to check his swing. Will, if you're just joining us, earlier today it was announced that he has received a contract extension through 2015. Rewarded for his great efforts this year and as a long-term Padre. 1-1. Bumgarner now with 80 pitches in the game. Back even, 2-2. Stauffer allowing the base hit that tied the game, but striking out Perez and Bumgarner with a go-ahead score for the Giants out at second base.
Make sure that towel goes under the bench, Timmy.
Hit to left center field and hit well. That's up the alley and to the wall. Bounces off the warning path. A ground rule double as Venable goes the opposite way.
That's one of the reasons why Will Venable had such a good August, taking this Bumgarner fastball up, away, trying not to pull it. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Taking advantage of a Bumgarner mistake. And a leadoff double, thank you very much.
Chance for the Padres to come right back. Tied at 2. Jerko the hitter. Ball 1. Third double of the night off Bumgarner. A couple of doubles in the last inning. Blanks and Hundley led to the 2 runs. One and one. Jerko in this situation trying to hit the ball at least to the right side and move Venable over. Padres take the lead on an out. He does that but fouls it away.
You see what Bumgarner's thinking there? Breaky ball and trying to keep it down so to keep the ball in front of that runner at second base. But he elevated that one. He fought it off. Now it's tough to take that breaky ball down into a righty the other way to inside out it.
Struck him out on the high fastball, and once again they're taking advantage of Jerko going for that pitch above the shoulders.
Yeah, we've seen that before, right? In the scouting report, Buster Posey's into the Bill Dickey crouch, given the high target. It's exactly where Bumgarner throws it.
So 1 out, and GUZMAN steps up. He is grounded to third and fly to center. Venable, the go-ahead score. Good speed there at second base. Strike 1. Off speed. Dropping in at the knees, inside corner. Some of the fans behind home plate disagreeing with plate umpire Culbreth. But it was a strike.
Yep. Buster may have caught it low. Looked like he was out of the zone, but Fox tracks it. That's a good pitch.
Padres trying to reclaim the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning at 2-2 tie. Another strike. Keeps you off balance, doesn't he? Inside and low. Oh, punched him out. First base umpire Baker says you went around. So with a leadoff double, Jerko and GUZMAN both strike out. It's up to Kyle Blanks.
Breaking ball, slider, down and in. That's where you want to throw 2 strikes. Trust your catcher as well, and he most definitely goes on that one.
So he strikes out Jerko and Guzman for his 4th and 5th of the game. Blanks doubled inside the bag at first base the last time and scored on Hundley's long double to center.
Well, if we only knew, right? If Kyle Blanks had stayed healthy all year. If we only knew.
If you only knew if the Padres had stayed healthy all year, leading the major leagues in days on the DL.
You know, every team goes through situations like that, some more than others.
The Padres have led the majors the last 2 years. Disabled list days total. And now they have Headley day to day, Alonso not available for Bud Black tonight. Good swing there, 1-2.
I'd like to see Kyle wake up this crowd right about now. Good take.
And the count levels at 2-2.
Remember, that's how he got Guzman. That breaking ball with 2 strikes in the dirt, just like that last one. And he's on deck looking at the pitches to Guzman. So when he goes up to the plate, he knows what the count is. In fact, I believe it was a 2-2 count that he threw that breaking ball in the dirt to get Guzman on a check swing. Might throw another one here.
In the dirt, skips away, and that'll allow Venable to advance to third on the wild pitch. 90 feet away from regaining the lead. And the count full now to Blanks.
Buster tries to get that one off the chest protector. That ball checked back up. That breaking ball is going to go in at an angle and hit the dirt and check up the other way. Well, we saw the trainers talking to Buster in between innings, but this looks like maybe his throwing hand. I'll tell you what, as a catcher, toenails and nails. I mean, the one that always gets me is the foul tip right off the big toe. Seriously, how do you, I mean, watch his throwing hand. Oh.
It goes off the finger and then off the chest protector, so he took the full force of it. Instinctively, you know, puts his bare hand out there.
That's why you should make a fist.
He wants to make a couple of throws.
You know, if I'm Buster Posey, I'm airmailing it out to like right center field. I'm good. Let's go.
Throw it out the center field fence. He's all right. 3-2. It's the ring finger of that right hand. Good to go. 2 outs. Venable now at third. And 3-2 on Kyle Blanks. Out of play.
Oh, how nice. A future big leaguer going home with a big league baseball.
Another foul. Lang's battling Bumgarner here with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and go-ahead scorer standing at third base, Will Venable. Running up the pitch count on Bumgarner here in the 6th, up to 95.
Well, remember the one pitch to Jerko to get him was the high fastball out of the zone, right? Let's see if Bumgarner elects to go with the high fastball here.
He's been pitching him up and down, hasn't he? Ball 4, just off the outside corner. That's the first unintended walk tonight. The second from Bumgarner. He walked Cedeno intentionally back in the 5th.
And the big ragu, Dave Righetti, the pitching coach for the Giants, on the horn of the bullpen.
Logan Forsythe continuing to hit, and tough luck. It's smashed right at the shortstop who threw him out the last time.
Tell you what, the Giants got a village down there in that bullpen tonight after all these call-ups.
Starts him with a fastball. Venable at third, Lanks at first. '92 again, crowding Forsythe. George Contos was with the club during the regular season, then sent back down to Fresno, called up in the expanded 40-man roster. Another fastball, 1-2.
Up the ladder again.
Struck him out. Up the ladder again. So that's pretty good pitching by Madison Bumgarner. Leadoff double by Venable, but the Padres can't get him around.
It up in this one. Mark and I going over what we're going to use for the post-game show. Have to talk about Robbie Erlin. What'd you think of his night?
Well, I thought he did a nice job, especially in the first inning. Looked like he got in some trouble with the bases loaded and had a big punch out of Sandoval right there. I thought it was an outstanding effort. but he has to be a little more efficient moving forward, Mike.
Had himself his first big league hit as well, so we'll have Robbie's night. Hopefully a lot more offense to talk about. You're going to hear from Buddy Black. And my favorite part of the pregame show, we're bringing back guys for the postgame show. Inside Corner, when Mark Sweeney battled Mark Grant, debating some of the hot topics of the day. Some pretty good stuff. We're going to have the highlights for you, and we'll tell you how you voted at home by Twitter. All that plus a whole lot more when we see it tonight after the final out.
All right, Mike and Mark, yes, that was a great debate.
I think Sweeney won that one.
But it was fun. Doesn't matter who won. It was really fun to see you guys go at it.
Thank you. Some good topics.
We should do that much more often. Leadoff hitter, Angel Pagan against Tim Stauffer, top of the 7th. He has a single and a double tonight in 3 trips. Batting left-handed now. Single and double hitting right-handed. Abreu will turn around and hit right-handed. He's on deck, and then Brandon Belt, a left-handed hitter. That's on the inside corner, 1-2. Another hit for Pagan. That's going to be a double or more depending on how GUZMAN plays that corner. And here comes Pagan. He's on his way to third with a triple. Single, double, triple for Angel Pagan.
He's done a fine job using the whole field tonight. That single in the first inning going the opposite way. That pitch just kind of floating up, away. Way off the bag is Forsythe. And Dick, you made the good point. That ball rattled around a little bit. It looked like he was going to, take the double. But as soon as he saw daylight and GUZMAN going for that baseball, why not take the extra 90 feet?
Yeah, it's a real tricky left field corner. There are a lot of unusual bounces there. Tough to play it cleanly. And Pagan with a play right in front of him turned on the Jets at second. And so a leadoff triple, and the Giants in business here as the infield comes up halfway. Tony Abreu, a couple of ground outs and a fly ball. Eight hits for the Giants, 3 of them off the bat of Angel Pagan. Fly ball in the infield. Cedeno. 1 away. Brandon Belt steps up. Dodgers leading Colorado 7-4 in the 9th inning tonight at Coors Field. Dodgers have opened up a 12.5 game lead over Arizona. A little tighter now, the infield. Belt a single and 3 at bats. Well,
Tim has much better numbers facing left-handed hitters. Only 189 average against left-handed hitters. Brandon Belt's been swinging the bat extremely well. So I'm guessing here that fastball in might have been for show. Maybe some change-ups down and away from Stauffer. A little cutter or slider in.
2-0 with Buster Posey on deck. Well, Buster isn't on deck. He's scheduled to hit next, but apparently there is, along with the cut finger, that foul tip in the mask seemed to daze him as well. So Hector Sanchez is apparently going to hit as the catcher. 3-0 to Belt.
I'd rather pitch to Hector Sanchez than Brandon Belt.
Gotcha. Anthony's 3-1.
Now there's the numbers we were just talking about. And one of the reasons why I think the better numbers against lefties is because of that changeup, that backdoor breaking ball to lefties.
And the two-seamer that he throws very well.
Fewer home runs against left-handers.
And the count full. 2-2 tie. Dale Thayer getting ready. Leadoff triple Pagan here in the 7th. Abreu, a soft pop up to short. And now the 3-2 pitch to Brandon Belt. Oh, jammed him there. Jake Dunning, another call up.
Well, Nick Hundley looks like he's doing the majority of the talking right there, especially after seeing that swing. That was a high slider that he wanted up in the zone to Belt, tied him up. And Ronnie Cedeno wants to get the signs as well so he can kind of cheat accordingly to what pitch it's going to be. Something soft down and away or something hard down and in. So no sign from Nick. They already know what they want to throw.
Popped up. Shallow. Guzman coming in behind shortstop to make the catch, and Pagan won't try to come home on that. So 2 away. Making some good pitches. Tim Stauffer from 3-0 to get Belt, and they'll bring up the pinch hitter. POSEY with a couple of hits tonight, the first to right field. And another in the 2-run 6th inning. He took a couple of foul tips, and that went off his throwing hand. His ring finger was cut. So, in essence, seemingly a break for the Padres that he will not be batting here with a runner at third and 2 outs.
A great sequence of pitches there. A great battle for Tim Stauffer to get Brandon Belt to pop up.
First pitch misses, a fastball. Sanchez is a switch hitter. Ooh, good stop by Hundley. 2-0 the count. Hitting left-handed .259, right-handed .250, about the same overall. .257. First and third. Rather just third. And 2-1 the count. The amiable bench coach Rick Renteria there helping out Bud Black. Again at the top of the order. He's caused all the difficulty for Padre pitching tonight. RBI singles by Sandoval and Arias in the last inning to tie the game. And 2. That's the score. That's the count here in the 7th. Black and Bochy, two teams with the identical record, 61 and 76.
Boy, he missed with the fastball there. And Sanchez could not catch up with it.
That was in a sweet spot.
Yes, it was. Tim's got the good sharp breaking ball though down to the zone. He's thrown a couple to Sanchez. He's fouled it back, or fouled it into the dirt rather. Down and in here. Nope, straight fastball at 93.
Bumgarner. Pagan still at third. The 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. Well, Bumgarner did a great job in the bottom of the sixth. A leadoff double by Venable. Then he struck out the side. And now Stauffer, after allowing Pagan a triple, gets rid of Abreu, Belt, and Sanchez.
Too, but Black gave us a little insight into the starting rotation in the days to come, especially on the weekend. So Friday, Birch Smith will get the start. And of course, they say they feel really good about Birch coming off of some solid starts in Tucson. He actually would have started today, but this will give him a couple of extra days of rest to really get back in the swing of things here in the big league. Saturday will be Tyson Ross, and then Sunday is TBA. Will either be Kennedy or Andrew Kashner. So Mark Grant, this makes me think we are seeing a six-man rotation evolve.
Yeah, it looks like it could work that way, Laura. Thank you very much. You know, Stoltz, off day. But then again, you got 2 off days there. Possibly give one of those pitchers an extra day rest. But you know what, though? There's a method to Buddy Black's madness there. And he's looking out for the best interest of his starters. If you were to ask Andrew Kastner, he wants the ball every 5th day.
He gets mad if you don't let him
exactly.
pitch.
But they're looking out for the best interest of their pitching staff and the arms for next year. So, and Buddy did allude in Los Angeles about the possibility of going to a 6-man rotation. So, stay tuned. ...
And we'll get a chance to see the right-hander Birch Smith, who had flashes of brilliance when he came up earlier, and then was cuffed around, but went down to Tucson and had a terrific record. And gets the Saturday evening call against the Colorado Rockies. Nick Hundley, a single to left and a double off the center field wall to knock in Kyle Blanks. And he faces the right-hander Jake Dunning. Did his college pitching at Indiana University. Lanky 6'4" and 188 pounds. One of the call-ups.
Dunning, a 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, change. 88 to 93 on the fastball. Always working out of the stretch.
Boy, he is long and lean, isn't he?
Yes.
And falls behind 3-0. After Hundley, it'll be Cedeno and the pitcher's spot. 2-2 tie, folks. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Padres got 2, bottom of the 5th. The Giants answered with 2 in the 6th. And ball 4. 4-pitch walk from Dunning, and Hundley's aboard for the 3rd straight time. Luke Gregerson getting ready. Crowd tonight just under 20,000, 19,889. And it's a late afternoon game tomorrow, 3:30. Javier Lopez, the veteran left-hander. Cedeno drives it to right field through the holes, and Hundley's on his way to third. Nice piece of hitting by Cedeno, going through that big gap on the right side.
When we talk about pitchers being wild out of the zone, hence the walk to Hundley, how about wild in the zone? Crosshairs right down the middle, and Ronnie Cedeno finding that hole. Well, first and third action, which is some kind of NAS.
And brings up pinch hitter Mark Kotsay.
No help needed from the third base coach, Clint Hoffman. Nick Hundley takes that 90 feet on his own. Be nice to see the Padres get a couple this half.
Bruce Bochy making the slow stroll out to the mound. He will bring in a new pitcher as Hundley and Cedeno are aboard, first and third. No one out in the seventh. Padres trying to break into the lead.
Up at 2, and also there's a fight coming up this week. UFC Wednesday premieres on Fox Sports 1. It will include prelim fights leading up to the main event on UFC Fight Night. Third-ranked light heavyweight Glover Teixeira takes on Ryan Bader. Then it's the season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter. UFC Wednesday begins at 1 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1. It's going to be awesome.
That's tomorrow.
Mañana.
And that'll also be the final game of this 3-game series. Eric Stoltz scheduled for the Padres against Tim Lincecum for San Francisco. 3 o'clock for Fox Sports San Diego's coverage of the action as Javier Lopez, oft-used left-hander, comes in against Mark Kotsay.
Love the big faces. Love the big heads.
201 on the season for Kotsay, his 55th pinch hit appearance. 9 hits, one of them a home run. First and third, infield drawn in. And a pop-up. Shortstop Arias, one away. 1 pitch, 1 out for Lopez, and to the top of the order, Chris Denorfia.
Oh, first pitch, sweeping breaking ball, the slider from Lopez, who also sports a fastball, cutter, and a change.
Denorfia Has grounded out twice and flied to right. 1 for 3 against Lopez. Fly ball, get the job done here. Infield now up the middle, backs up, looking for a double play chance. Lopez, excellent ERA of 1.87.
See the defense pretty straight away everywhere. Outfield, infield.
Batter's hitting only .202 off Lopez all season. Another strike. And he quickly jumps in front of Denorfia 0-2. George Contos tuning up in the bullpen for the Giants. Denorfia had a big 2-run single with 2 strikes on him last night. Good block by Sanchez, who has stayed in the game after batting for POSEY. Venable on deck. First and third. Hundley at third. Cedeno at first. Big hole right side. Pulled foul.
Well, you talk about clutch situations. This is a clutch situation that Chris Denorfia uses the whole field. And he's familiar against these Giants that he's hit against. And I didn't know this before I just read that. And I'm not reciting this from memory, folks, but career .340 hitter, Chris Denorfia. In 53 games against the Giants. It's the best average against San Francisco among all active major leaguers, with a minimum of 150 at-bats. That's telling you something.
Watch out. Way back in the lower tier, that low line drive.
Hey, when we say Chris Denorfia uses the whole field, he uses the whole field. Going up above the Padre dugout there. Looks like everybody's okay.
Line drive, base hit. Denorfia delivers. Hundley scores. The Padres take a 3-2 lead. And he is an excellent 2-strike hitter. With that leadoff walk, Dunning losing Hundley on 4 pitches pays off for the Padres.
And that was a battle for Chris Denorfia. He fouled it off over the Padre dugout very late on the pitch. This one, a one-hopper through the infield. Continues to hit lefties. That's a good at-bat.
Brings up Will Venable. Strikeout, ground out, and a double. Hit a home run earlier today before the game started when they signed the contract extension. That will make him financially secure for 2 more years after this one. Cedeno at second now with Denorfia at first. Still only 1 out. Fly ball to center. Shallow. Long run for Pagan, but he's there for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Jerko. Run charged to Jake Dunning, and he's also responsible for Cedeno out at second. And here comes Bochy to make yet another pitching change. He wants the right-hander against Jerko. And we'll take a break with the Padres back in front, 3-2. of the game.
Hey,
the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Buckethead showing up tonight. The sweet fedora.
I think that was one of the giveaways early in the year. That good-looking straw hat.
I'd like to welcome Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad right there on the right. And I love the alternative jersey right there that woman's wearing. The alternate jersey, the blue one with the SD. I like that. Shutterbug as well.
Yeah, well, we have a moment. We want to salute Nick Novak, the Chargers place kicker, throughout the ceremonial first pitch tonight. We were hoping he'd try to drop kick it, but he threw a pretty good strike.
How you doing?
And Laurie Joseph, also with a ceremonial first pitch. He's with the Leadership Foundation doing such great work with the inner city kids here in San Diego. Novak in action. Let's check out his style. Looks like he's done this before.
Hey, not bad. Not bad at all.
Clayton Richard serving the role as honorary catcher for the first pitch each evening. We talked to Clayton, asked how his shoulder's doing. He said he's back in the weight room working out. He said he won't be throwing again for maybe into November, but should be ready by spring training. All right, George Cantos comes in. Just called up from Fresno, but he was with the club earlier for 42 games. First and second, 2 outs, and Jerko the hitter. A run home and a 3-2 Padre lead.
High slider. A hanger from George Cantos.
Jerko has popped up, lined out, and struck out. Oh, and 2. This next pitch is almost predictable.
It's either going to be a slider off the plate or a high fastball.
I'm saying high fastball. I've been right since Secretariat won the Belmont. Breaking ball in the middle of the plate, fouled near the dugout of the Padres and just into the first row. Hot potato. There's the Padre box score with Hundley the key hitter tonight. A single, a RBI double, scored a run, and has scored a second run after walking in this inning. Total of 7 hits for San Diego. Doubles by Hundley, Blanks, and Venable.
I think the fastball up's coming right here, Dick.
Yep. Wouldn't bite.
Now the slider down and away.
High fly ball. Didn't quite get it all. Hit it too high, and Pagan tucks it away for the final out. But the Padres get a run, a walk to Hundley, singles by Cedeno, and a key base hit by Chris Denorfia to give the Padres a 3-2 lead.
To update you on the results of our AT&T Twitter poll, this one's dedicated all to Will Venable. We asked you, what was the best Venable play of the year? And by a mile, that dive in San Francisco in extra innings wins by 84%. And that's my vote. I don't know how you couldn't pick that one. Walk-offs are great, but that defense, as you see right there, was so clutch in that moment, guys. Remember that game? It seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And you know what? Well, the way I look at this is that the way both these clubs are going, that catch, which saved the game because it was extras, right? The Giants would have walked off with a win. Who knows how the standings are going to, whoever the last place thing, could be one game, right?
Yeah, no, it was at a time when the Padres were still flirting with catching the leaders, the Giants. Hunter Pence, with a 10-game hitting streak, will be the first to face Luke Gregerson.
Well, hopefully the Padres can win some games and the Colorado Rockies can slip a little bit so they can slip into third place.
And Marista goes in the game in center with Denorfia switching to left field and Venable to right. High fly ball. Venable and right gets an immediate chance. One pitch, one out for Luke. Good keeping score. Amarista will be spotted in the number 4 position. Guzman was hitting cleanup. And Alexi will lead off the bottom of this inning. Pablo Sandoval singled in a run the last time. 1 for 3. Batting from the more dangerous side, as we mentioned earlier, 9 of his 10 home runs hitting left-handed. Fastball low. Three-two Padres, top of the 8th inning. The Giants with the bases empty, 1 out. Well, it's quite a pitcher's battle tonight. Cincinnati and St. Louis. The Reds won 1-0. Boy, that Central Division is really tight. Pittsburgh edged Milwaukee 4-3. Dodgers beat Colorado 7-4. 1-1. Outside in slider, but it misses. The statistic on close games, 1-run games, is quite stunning for the Padres. Home versus road. Since this is now a 1-run game, at home, 1-run games, Padres are 18-6.
Nice.
But on the road, 4-14.
It's tough to win on the road. Tough to win on the road,
especially the close ones.
Yeah. And winning at home, one of the reasons that is the 1-run games is the guy on the mound.
Fly ball to left, a long run for Denorfia, but he's there. 2 away. Well, tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Last time he was on the mound here at Petco, Tim Lincecum pitched a no-hitter. And he'll go against the veteran left-hander Eric Stoltz, hungry for a victory. Stoltz now 8-12. 3 o'clock here on Fox Sports San Diego. Joaquin Arias nearly hit one out the first time up. Denorfia leaped against the right field wall to make a catch, flied again to right, and then singled in a run to tie the game in the 6th inning. Gregerson with a strike.
Dick, getting back to that 1-run stat and the wins and the losses. I mentioned Luke Gregerson, but it's the whole bullpen. You get a 1-run lead, you turn it over to the bullpen and turn it over to Houston Street.
Center field, a long run. Amarista can't get there in time. Second hit for Arias, so the tying run on with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Juan Perez. And Blanco is going to hit for Perez. Gregor Blanco. Juan Perez went 0 for 3 tonight. Bruce Bochy goes with the more experienced left-handed hitter. 2 outs. Tying run at first base. Giants' 9th hit of the night. They've had a lot of chances. Left the bases loaded in the first. Had Pagan at third. With 2 outs in the third. Had Pagan at third with the leadoff triple in the 7th and couldn't get him home. One strike the count. Roger Kieschnick is in the on-deck circle. Pitcher's spot due next. There goes the runner, and a ground ball right through the legs of Gregerson into center field, and right to third goes Arias running all the way, and the Giants threaten here with 2 outs in the 8th. Solid single by the pinch hitter Blanco.
Oh, perfectly executed hit and run there. Hitting the ball. You can almost see Blanco hitting down on that baseball. You got to hit it on the ground with that runner in motion. In the air, it doesn't do you any good. Runner's going right through the legs and past the dive of Ronnie Cedeno.
With the runner going, Cedeno was covered and almost took him to the ball, but it was hit so sharply it found its way into center field. First and third. Kieschnick, the pinch hitter. 76 at bats on the season, 17 hits, a .224 average, only 5 RBIs. He pinch hit last night and struck out. Strike one with a slider. Red Raider at Texas Tech, Kieschnick. 26 years of age. Inside, 1-1. It's his first trip to the big leagues this year. Was a 3rd round pick of the Giants 5 seasons ago. 3-2 Padres, first and third Giants on a couple of singles with 2 outs, Arias and Blanco.
Chase Headley's got a bat. Batting gloves on. Pick off.
And it gets away, but not far enough for Arias to score, but it does move the potential go-ahead score to second base. See to whom they charge the error. To Gregerson.
Well, he's going towards the bag, just couldn't make the grab. His momentum was going toward. He knew the pickoff was on, just couldn't. Just a good old-fashioned boot.
First error of the game. And now a base hit could give the Giants the lead. That could be a critical miscue by Gregerson. So second and third now with 2 outs. The count 1-1 on Kieschnick. Swing and a miss at that slider. 1-2. Good position.
Yep. Down and in. Right over the top of it.
Talking to his glove, you never know.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Strike 3. The Giants leave runners at second and third in the 8th inning. Gregerson gets the big pitch and fools Kieschnick, and the Padres retain their lead 3-2. And we'll come back to Petco Park, bottom of the 8th inning, as Luke Gregerson pitches out of trouble. Top half of the inning, the Giants now have stranded 10 tonight. Heath Hembry just called up today on the expanded roster. He's 6'4" and 210. Lives in the bovine capital of South Carolina, Cowpens, South Carolina.
And his Major League debut here, you take a look at the strikeout, 63 and 55 plus innings pitch, a strikeout pitcher. And he features a fastball. There's a reason why the strikeouts. You get up to 97 on that fastball, along with a slider and a changeup that he will very rarely use.
Alexi Amarista hitting in the 4th spot, and then Kyle Blanks and Logan Forsythe here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gregor Blanco stays in the game for Perez, for whom he pinch hit in left field. This is Hembry's Major League debut. Amarista, fly ball to right center, and Pagan there. 1 pitch, 1 out. Blanks, a walk and a double tonight, and 2 official at bats. Three runs, 7 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 10 hits for the visitors from the Bay. Slider.
That's a good one. As a reminder, folks, stay tuned after this one. Fox Sports San Diego, Padres Live. Luke Gregerson is going to be on the postgame show live and in person.
You thought the Nixon-Kennedy debates were something special. Wait till you see Mark and Mark go at it.
It's good TV. Oh, that's why you want to stay tuned.
I think he'd go to prime time. I really do. 2-1 to Big Kyle. Another slider.
He's got a good one, huh?
Got him. So with 2 outs, here's Logan Forsythe. He struck out twice and smashed one to short, but it was one out by Arias who threw him out.
Good located fastball by Hembree right there. Slider, fastball down and away at 92, 93.
Looking ahead to the Giants' 9th inning, it'll be the top of the order for them, presumably against Houston Street, who is warming up. Fastball at 91 for a strike. Slider misses. Toronto beat Arizona tonight 10-4, so the Dodger lead is now 13 and a half games.
Wow.
That thing explode in a hurry or what? Arizona's chances of the wild card are diminishing with each loss as well. They're a -7 games behind Cincinnati for the wild card spot.
Yeah, the only race now, I mean, it seems like in the National League is in that Central. We talked about that 3-horse race. Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Cincinnati.
Looks as if all 3 teams are going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
2-2 to Forsythe. What we've seen from Heath Hembree is pretty impressive this inning.
Yep.
He's got good stuff. Struck him out with a fastball. A couple of strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning for Heath Hembree. It's on the line for the Padres. Houston Street, 3 outs away from a 1-run win. Street comes in, 9th inning coming up. Fox Sports San Diego, brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, inviting you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile tomorrow. Veteran right-hander, Texas Longhorn, Houston Street on the pitch. Street has been in a terrific run of outings, 19 outings, 11 for 11 in save opportunities, without a run being allowed in 19 and a third innings.
Yeah, looking for save number 27 for the veteran right-hander.
Apparently we're having some technical difficulties. We will make a hasty try at trying to get those things covered for you. I believe we still have our audio working. And we'll begin with a radio call until the video joins us.
You're used to that, Professor.
It's been a while. Street has completed his warm-up tosses. Seventh save of the season. Single in the first, double in the third, grounded out in the fifth, and triple to left in the seventh. Pagan. We're all talking as the Giants came in for this 3-game series about how desperate they've missed the talents of Pagan, both with the bat and his play in center field. Comes out Hackett. You think he doesn't know he's a home run shy of the cycle? He took a swing for one.
Hey, why not? You know, only a 1-run deficit for the Giants. You take it. You mentioned it, Dick. The last 19 outings. There you see it. Well, he's been right on.
Picked up the save last night in a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Getting Pagan to ground out to end the game. Slider 1-1. So far in their meetings previously, Street has had the better. Two and one.
Turning over the changeup there.
$19,889. We'll see this tightly contested game between the NL West rivals. 2-1. And another foul and a big swing again by Pagan. Fastball at 92. That's about the top of the chart.
Yes.
For Street.
Yep. And I look at that swing from Pagan. Now with 2 strikes. Yeah, that tells me as the pitcher, maybe try to go soft on him a little bit here. They got the big swing coming out of your shoes.
Boy, that pitch is right there.
Yep.
Heart of the plate.
Little change up possibly right here. I'm calling Cambio.
Misses low. Full count to Pagan. Excellent speed. Abreu on deck. And then Brandon Belt. Struck him out. Challenged him with a fastball at 91.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. Here it is, coming at you. Challenge it with the heater, and Houston Street wins that one.
Abreu 0 for 4. Switch hitting second baseman. Grounded twice to short, popped to short. Fly to right. Outfield swung around toward left field. Matt Cain there, who's fought an injury-riddled season with Barry Zito.
Well, they're talking hitting. Matt Cain and Zito talking some offense. Look at that. Pulling off, you're saying?
That's when he's in the tee box.
Yeah. Maybe they're talking about their golf swing, huh?
1-1. Ground ball rolled softly. Houston Street covers, blanks, flips, and there's 2 away. And that takes us to our Carl's Jr. star of the game. And it's catcher Nick Hundley, a single, an RBI. There's the single through the hole on the left side. And the big double off the center field fence that knocked in Kyle Blanks. And then Hundley scored himself on pitcher Robbie Erlin's first major league hit. And he's also walked and scored. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game, Nick Hundley. Brandon Belt. He's 1 for 4 tonight. And he's had success against Houston Street. "15 home runs this year. Off speed, misses. Two and 0. Well, it's a lot of walks, 46 on the season. That's just one under the Giant leader, POSEY. And he lines that toward the gap in left center field. No one's going to catch it. And it's all the way to the wall. Amarista plays it off the wall, and Belt is on second base, the tying run with 2 outs here in the 9th. The 11th Giants base hit.
Well, he worked the count in his favor, 2-0. First pitch was a changeup. This pitch, a little two-seamer down and away. And, you know, as we mentioned in the first game of the series, Brandon Belt making some adjustments. One of those adjustments going the opposite way with authority, splitting the left center field gap.
Well, here's a break for the Padres, because this would be where Buster Posey would be up at bat, but left the game. Got his finger on a foul tip. And Hector Sanchez, batting for him the last time, had a runner at third and was struck out by Tim Stauffer. Ball 1.
Infielders get dirty. All you guys, I'm talking about you, and you. Diving everywhere. Ground ball, got to dive for it. Keep that runner from scoring.
The key tonight, the Giants have not had much success, runners in scoring position. 3 for 14. Houston trying to keep it that way. 2-0.
Wow, Houston Street fell to the ground there after that pitch. He waves off the bench there. He's maybe caught a spike or something. Looked like he rolled his left ankle a little bit on his follow through. He planted, and then that left ankle, watch his left ankle kind of roll a little bit, kind of twisted.
Caught his spikes. Todd Hutchison, the head trainer, out there to make sure the streak can continue. Houston said, let me throw a couple, but I think I'm okay. Meanwhile, the count has gone to 2-0 in favor of Hector Sanchez. Bud Black satisfied that his ace reliever's okay. Brandon Belt out at second base, the tying run.
See that? See how kind of slipped a little bit and then turned on the heel, then falling to the ground. Hopefully he's okay.
Sanchez waits, 2-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup. Nubbed. Street bare hand throw gets him, and the ball game is over. The Padres win 3-2. Save number 27 for Houston Street as we go to Mike Pomeranz.
Well, guys, coming up in the postgame show, we're going to talk about Kristen Orpia's night, a difference maker most assuredly. We're talking Houston Street, Robbie Erlin, and you're going to hear live from Luke Gregerson about a huge event he has coming up you can attend.